But the first game kind of set the tone for the rest of the weekend. It was the Texans and the Chargers. Texans were home, and man, oh man, I wanted to rewrite some narratives on this podcast. And that was the one I got wrong. Justin Herbert had an awful playoff game. And I can't just blame it all on him, but a lot of the blame should be put on the quarterback, and rightfully so. 32-12 was the final. It was a 6-0 game for what felt like forever.
Yeah.
And man, oh man, it was some boring-ass football that I just wanted to turn off as soon as possible. So what are the immediate thoughts of the Chargers loss or the Texans win? We could talk about some winners first if we really want to do that, but I know people want to get toxic because we love to get toxic. So, Chris, get us started. What are your immediate takeaways from the Chargers and the Texans?
I mean, this was shocking. This was shocking. We were all over the Chargers. Everyone and their mother was all over the Chargers. The way the Texans were playing leading up to this, it just seemed like the Chargers were the lock of the century. It was the first game of wild card weekend. I think a lot of people even expected it to potentially be a blowout in the other direction, and it was just the complete opposite. And I mean, the biggest takeaway to me was obviously Justin Herbert, but that Texans defense is stifling. Yeah. And, you know, I thought the Chargers were going to have a little bit of an advantage because of how elite their tackle play has been this season. But, I mean, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter absolutely wrecked this game. Justin Herbert was pressured on over 50% of his passes. So that was telling about the Texans defense. But, I mean, when you're an elite quarterback, when you're a top 5 guy, when you're in, you know, the first tier quarterback, you're supposed to overcome. I mean, you know, why was Justin Herbert so great all year? Because he was protecting the ball, three interceptions on the year, threw more than that in this one game. Justin Herbert was awful in this game, and like, I'm just sick of the excuses. And this was the point I've been trying to make for 2 fucking years now. I was trying to make this point that Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. He's a great quarterback, but he is not blame-free for the Chargers' struggles. He never was, and he's not in this game. He's clearly not in this game. I mean, like I said to you guys before we started recording, it was 6-0. The dirty bubble came onto the scene. He captured Jim Harbaugh, and everything went downhill ever since then.
Shit got real ugly.
Get rid of the SpongeBob cast.
No,
I mean,
never.
And that's really it. Justin Herbert was god awful in this game. I mean, the overthrows, the reads were terrible. I mean, that he was rolling out to his right and he threw it 40 yards across his body to the left, and it's just like. And then there's people who get on the TikTok and say, "Well, if Quentin Johnson actually plays that ball a little bit better, it wouldn't be Justin Herbert." Like, shut up, let it go.
Well, to that point though, like, the Chargers very clearly are lacking another
100%.
receiver.
100%.
They hit on Ladd, but they have nobody else, bro. The second most targets was Will Dissly.
Yeah.
100%.
Bro.
Who actually had 2 crazy drops, one of which got picked.
Quentin Johnson went 0 for 5. DJ Chark don't even know what he's doing in the league anymore.
Did you see DJ Chark on Instagram right after the game, bro?
Nah, what'd he say?
He posted a joint and said it was a long 3.5 months without you as soon as the game was over.
That's all he was thinking about. He was like, thank God we lost.
Shout out DJ Chark, man. But that's the point, though. It's like, okay, the Chargers have flaws. The Chargers' flaws this year were different than their flaws in other years, obviously. The flaws in years prior were the defense and the coaching and all that. This year, the flaws were the playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. Like, 100%. They have flaws as a team. They were never a Super Bowl contender. They were never the biggest threat to the Chiefs, obviously. If you know ball, you know that. But they obviously have flaws. But that's the point that I've been trying to make forever, though. It's like, okay, like, we could acknowledge that this is a flawed team, but also the elite quarterbacks overcome these things, especially against a team that was on such a downward spiral. It's that simple for me. I don't know. Justin Herbert, rightfully so, there's going to be question marks about him all offseason, leading up into next season, through next season, honestly, until he proves us otherwise, that he could be a playoff performer.
Yeah, he'll be great in the regular season.
Already has more playoff wins than him.
Tony Romo comps?
Yeah, I mean, shit, I get it. So, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. I mean, Justin Herbert has been in these top 5 conversations, like you said, and guys like What do guys like Josh Allen do with limited weapons? What do guys like Lamar Jackson do with limited weapons? They come through it, and I know Lamar in the playoffs not the best comparison, but still, like,
He bowled out, man.
yeah. But Herbert just let a lot of people down. I mean, 4 picks, one of them bounced off Will Dissly's hands, yeah, but like you said, even the one where he threw cross body, there were people on Twitter and stuff saying, well, actually, that was the play call in this, and it's a poor play call. Like, that's what people are saying. I'm like, I'm not a coordinator, but I can't imagine that the play call was for him to throw cross body across the field.
The design was
The
awful.
route concept was terrible.
The route concept was
100%,
actually
but you don't throw
But
that.
yeah,
But you don't throw
the ball.
that.
Like,
You don't
the
throw
5
that.
yard.
You-
Just
yeah.
throw the 5 yard out
Throw
underneath.
it away, like whatever.
You don't
Like
throw that.
Don't throw it to the other team. But yeah, he just made some bad throws in this game, bad reads, like you said, and it's really disappointing to see such a talented quarterback make these mistakes. Ladd McConkey's a stud. They definitely got to get him some other help out there. Heard Tyreek rumors. We'll see what happens with that.
There's been a lot of those.
There's been a lot of Tyreek rumors.
This was year 1. They exceeded a lot of people's
for sure.
expectations
Yeah,
for
it's
them. You know?
I mean, they weren't. A lot of people didn't have them in the playoffs. You were high on them coming into the year, and
No.
He was the highest.
you were the highest.
He
I'm
was the
sorry.
highest.
Yeah, I
Outside
apologize.
coming
I
in.
apologize. You and Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
You and Dan.
Dano.
So yeah, the Chargers. All in all, you're right. They should. They still have a very young, talented quarterback in Justin Herbert. They've got Jim Harbaugh making these guys want to run through walls for him, and it's a great place to start. Like you said, being a playoff team in a loaded AFC, but now the real work starts because you gotta.
Now there's
go
expectations.
There's expectations. You got to go from good team to great team. So, we'll see how they move from here.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Herbert's thought of as this top 5 guy. And like the Tony Romos of the world, like Lamar Jackson for so long, has not shown up in the playoffs. You have a rookie, Jaden Daniels, who's come in, won a game off rip. Like, Justin Herbert's thought of as his franchise quarterback. Like, he has to overcome the bad play calls. He needs to overcome the lack of weapons. Like, these are the things that championship Super Bowl winning quarterbacks do. These are the things that top 10 quarterbacks do. And after these continuous playoff losses, like, I don't even know if I consider him top 10, top 12 anymore. There's guys
Nah,
that
he's
do
still
show
top
up still.
12.
Top 12, I'd say. Yeah.
Top 12.
He's not a top 5 guy.
That's
Not a top 5
insanity.
quarterback.
Not
He's
a
not
top
a.
5 guy.
I can name 10 quarterbacks right now that are better than Justin
Go
Herbert.
ahead. Go
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I'll call him better right now.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
you're right.
Baker Mayfield is better. Baker
No.
Mayfield's a better
No,
quarterback. Yes,
no.
he is.
Stop it.
Yes, he is.
Stop
yes,
it.
He is. Yes, he is.
Stop
yes, he
it.
is. Yes, he is.
No.
Yes, he is. Matt Stafford.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
5.
Joe Burrow.
Joe
Joe
Burrow,
Burrow.
6.
I'm thinking of
CJ Stroud, who
No.
just beat
Stroud's
him.
better.
No.
Stroud's a better quarterback than Justin Herbert.
No.
Yes, he is.
Stop,
yes, he
bro.
is. Yes,
Stroud
he is.
did
He
not
showed-
play well in this game. Let's not get it twisted.
Doesn't matter.
Stroud did
He's
not
already.
play well
What?
in this
He has 2 playoff wins.
Does have 2
Two.
playoff.
He has
wins.
2.
He
He has
beat
2
the
playoff
Browns
One last year. Hertz is better. Thank you.
Sure.
Sure.
I guess. Like, no.
I think.
Yes.
What has Hurts done?
I think.
Made it to the Super Bowl.
I think
great in the
Stafford,
Super
like, you have to take Matt Stafford over Justin Herbert.
100,000%.
I think Justin Herbert's
I agree.
not a top 5
Jared
guy.
Goff. Jared
I
Goff's
think.
better.
I think
Okay,
all those
sure,
other
maybe.
guys. I think maybe not Goff, but the Jalen Hurts is CJ Stroud's, the Jaden Daniels of the world. Like, it's a conversation at
I
least.
think
Yeah.
Jaden has.
It's a
passed that
conversation
Yeah.
at least.
now. And wait, why would you say no golf? I would take golf over the other guys that he
Over
just named.
Herb?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm.
I would take
taking Goff over.
I would
Herb.
take golf over Baker. I would take golf over Hurts. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I respect
think
Jared
over Baker,
Goff.
sure,
I think those
but
guys are all
I
on a
don't know.
tier. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where I would stand with that. But I mean, I get it. Look, I understand the conversations that need to be had and are being had right now. I mean, I get it. It's warranted. You go into a playoff game and you throw 4 interceptions. It's tough. I can't cover the man's ass about that shit. So it is what it is, man. Like, Chargers weren't supposed to be here. They were supposed to be like a 9-8 team, a 10-7 team, and that would have been looked at as progress. You don't have Keenan, you don't have Mike Will. You built the O-line, you built the other side of the football, and you just ran into an absolute buzzsaw of a defense that, I mean, we said it, like, we may not have picked the Texans, but we stated so clearly
stupid not picking
on
the
this
Texans, bro.
podcast
Silly.
that the Texans had a defense good enough to win them playoff games.
I said it on here too. I'm like, Texans plus money at home is like crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean,
They were just playing so
Yeah, no,
bad
they really
leading
were,
up to
yeah.
it.
Dak Prescott.
So
bro.
I was gonna bring that
no,
up, but
stop. It sucks. It is what it is. I can't even.
say it again.
I can't defend him anymore. I just need to see him do it next season, and
That's
that.
the thing is like now he's got to carry this. He's got to carry this load for a whole season.
Whole lot of load.
Whole lot of load into next year's playoffs, and he has a bad playoff game again next year. Like woof.
Yeah, he's
You
got
know,
to
like,
rewrite. He's got to rewrite.
It's just
the narrative,
it just sucks that like you said, the Chargers weren't supposed to be here. So at the end of the day, like it was a great season for them, but this wasn't like that wasn't supposed to be how they lost. They weren't supposed to lose to an inferior team because Justin Herbert played poorly. Like it's just
Right, they were supposed to lose because
they're supposed
they
to lose
don't
to
have
Kansas City
weapons,
or Buffalo or
right?
something like
right.
that. Yeah, or
They weren't
Exactly,
supposed to
yeah.
lose
in respectable
because
fashion.
right. They weren't
Yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to lose because of Justin Herbert.
Right.
That's the issue. And
right.
Again, like I think Justin Herbert's a great quarterback. I think Dean, you're dragging it a little bit. I feel like you can't make a top 10 list without Justin Herbert
agree.
personally. But again, everyone said all year there's numerous tweets. These are the top 5 quarterbacks in whatever order. Debate a wall. These are the top 5 guys. These are the top 5 guys. And he's just not in that tier with those guys. He never was. He just never was. And it was crazy to even put him in that tier with those guys.
But for the tiers, I think it's 1 is in his own,
Sure.
and then 3 are
Yeah.
in their own.
Right, but that's the thing. People were putting Justin Herbert in that tier with those
Or you
guys.
could argue Stafford is in that second tier, but probably not. Like, and then it's
At this point in his career, he's lower than them, but he's
Stafford
still,
and Justin Herbert are probably in this. I mean, they're probably not in the same tier because Stafford just wins playoff games.
Mhm.
and
Stafford's-
plays
That's what I'm
well.
saying. I
Hall
think
of Famer.
Stafford's in that tier with those guys. Like,
Yeah.
he's older, sure. Like, if I'm starting a franchise, no, but like I'm going into a
going to a
playoff game
playoff game,
tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, there's very few guys I think I'd take over.
There's 4 guys I'm taking over Matt Stafford if I have to win a playoff game tomorrow.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, it really does boil down to that at that position. And until Herbert proves otherwise, he shouldn't be in those conversations. And
It's
next year,
not. He's not ass.
No,
Like,
no,
I
no,
want to make that
no,
very
no.
clear because that's what my thing was last year about why I said the Justin Herbert discourse is cooked because it's either you're too far one way or you're too far the other way. He's either a lock top 5 guy in Joe Burrow's tier or he's ass, and it's just like he's just in the middle of that right
Right.
now, and that's
Yeah.
okay. He's a young quarterback. He's played 2 playoff games. Like he has a whole career to
He can get into
right.
top
He has a
5,
whole career to
100%.
write narratives for himself, and that's okay. He's not ass, but he's not the elite of the elite, and that's just that. He had a great season. He protected the football, and that's when you have a lack of weapons and a great defense. That's all you could ask to.
they'll throw it back
Per-
at T. Higgins and it'll be different.
Right,
You know.
100%.
Yeah,
Like
they're going to get weapons.
there's room
no
for
doubt
them to
about
get
it.
better. Like he's proven time and time again he has the tools to be one of those
They're
guys.
projecting
It's-
upward too.
yeah. It's just like, all right, like now you're going to be in the spotlight more than ever. Like
Yeah.
this is the taste that's going to be left in everyone's mouth. Like, so change that taste, use some mouthwash or something.
And he's shown that like now he can, he just went the whole season, like you said, not turning the ball over, playing smart football, operating a system, and he's also thrown for 5,000 yards. So like he can also be the gunslinger. So like he can, like I said, he can elevate himself into those top 5 conversations for
Just
sure.
needs a weapon, just another one,
Yeah.
just one more. JK was awesome for them. I hope he comes back to the Chargers. But yeah, look, it wasn't supposed to happen this year, but it wasn't supposed to happen like this. The
Yeah.
way you said it was perfect. It wasn't supposed to.
I said that
They
right,
weren't
too.
supposed to be, or sorry, they weren't supposed to be here. But it was like you said, it wasn't supposed to happen like this.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on all our socials.
Check out our full pod popping up on the screen right now and any other recent videos we've posted.